The winter season is here, and we will bring you all the basics. As always, we promise to give it our very best shot, because as you know, that's always our goal. Finish up those grueling practices and dive into this exciting edition. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. We have one fall sport just to kind of wrap up. And winter's here, Joe. Sports season.
Well, don't get too excited. We got one fall sport that's finishing up and one winter sport that's starting up.
Correct.
Everybody else, I know boys hockey season, the tryouts starting this week. It was delayed because of the snowstorm on Monday, but we did get an opportunity to talk to head coach Steve Moe. We'll have that for you a little bit later in the program.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, as far as getting too excited, we're talking Cardinal sports. I don't think that's possible. I always get excited when we talk Cardinal sports.
Right. Well, let's get right into it. Fall sports season is now officially over at Coon Rapids after no Cardinals were able to advance to the swimming and diving state tournament. Going into last week's Section 7 AA championships, there were several Cardinals who had a good chance to get to the next level. The team advanced at least one competitor into the finals of more than half of the events, but none could make it to the big meet. Junior Lizzie Giese made it last season in the 500 free, but this year she comes up just short. After a third-place finish in the 200 free, Giese also advanced to the finals in the 100 butterfly. And while she has a good race, she once again finishes third, hitting the wall in 1 minute, 1.34 seconds. And again, missing state by just over a second. Giese gets another white ribbon for third place. She'll have a chance again as a senior next year. Giese had one more chance to advance, part of the 400 free relay team. The final event of the section meet, senior Ariana Georgie and Sarah Dishinger got the team started strong. Juniors Aaliyah Perkins and Giese finished it up. They took 26 seconds off of their prelim time, but still only take sixth place. The winning team from Andover set a new Section 7 AA record. So unfortunately, no Cardinals going to the state championships later this week.
Well, congrats to everyone on the season, Joe.
And there's a look at some of the other notable finishers. Galadriel O'Grady finished sixth in diving out of 20 competitors, a good finish for her. 200 free relay team finished eighth. Anderson, a ninth place finish in diving. Aaliyah Perkins, 11th in the 100 fly and 13th in the 100 brag. Georgie, 14th in the 100 free and 15th in the 200 IM. And Perkins and Georgie, again, both seniors.
You know, you look at just how close these races are when you're a second behind and you can't qualify. I mean, that is so close. So, you know, it makes it tough. Obviously, they would have liked an opportunity to go to the state, but
I take that back. Perkins is a junior.
Perkins is a junior. Okay. So they have some promising
but
things
yes,
for next
just
year.
one second away from a trip to state, and that's how close it is. And if you looked at the times, it was impressive because everybody's times improved from prelims to the finals, and it's just a matter of if you can improve as much as the girl in the lane next to you. And for the relay team to take 26 seconds off of their time for prelims, but still only finish sixth, that says a lot about the competition around the pool.
Exactly, no doubt. Well, we're closed fall season, as we talked about. We're going to start the winter season. This will be a challenge.
Well, let's wait.
Okay.
1 second. Let's talk about the girls' first game.
Oh!
They open the season on Saturday, taking on Wyzetta. The Trojans come into the season ranked number 4 in the state, and the Cardinals lose this one 5-1. Lily Hackey gets the lone goal, assisted by Fish and Blomquist. Brittany Buell making 38 saves. The Cardinals outshot 43-14, but still, you know, we talked about it before the show. The Trojans put up 10 on them last year, early in the year, and so it shows some improvement, some grittiness on the part of the Cardinals, and you know, they like to start with some really high-level competition. And speaking with the girls, they think that's both good and bad. Bad because they don't like to lose, but good because they get an idea right off the bat of what it takes to be at the top of the state. Yeah,
their season certainly couldn't start out any tougher. But when you play those teams that are ranked 4, ranked 10th, in the state, you kind of know what you have, and you know how you have to compete to try and get better.
Absolutely, and they will see another very tough team Tuesday night.
Now can I go?
Now you
All
can
right,
go.
Good. This will be a challenging year for the girls hockey team as they face their typically tough schedule with a very short bench. But the Cardinals have a handful of returning veterans and an eager group of newcomers who are all ready to accept that challenge and try and take the program one step into the future.
But everybody's working hard and
One big step.
showing up and giving 100% effort every day.
That determination and work ethic will be more important than ever for the Cardinals this season. With just 18 skaters making up the roster for both varsity and JV, everyone will have to shoulder a little more load than usual.
We're not sure how that lineup's going to look yet with only 18 skaters for both teams, but we really like what we have.
We know we don't have as many players, so we have to work twice as hard as we did last year, every shift.
And this group seems ready to take on that responsibility. The Cardinals lost nearly half of last year's varsity team to graduation, but the girls coming in are ready to pick up right where they left off.
We lost a couple from last year that were in our top lines, but we have girls that are filling the spots perfectly compared to last year, and I'm excited for just everybody playing.
About half of the roster this season is veterans, and so they are ready to pass their knowledge and experience along to help the next group keep the Cardinals improving year after year.
I just try and give them advice, not like critiques, but in like a positive, upbeat, like, hey, you could have done this, and like make it turn out to a positive so they really understand. And I think a lot of girls like that.
After just 1 week of practice, the Cardinals competed in the Jamboree, playing 3 games against Minnesota Nova, Tartan, and Rosemont. The outcome was quite encouraging.
It was definitely a great start just to see, especially since we got 3 wins out of it. I think they're not as scared. They don't know what's coming yet, but after like those 3 games, I think they have an idea of what's gonna happen.
Just getting the younger players an opportunity to see what it's like to play at the pace of a varsity level game was huge. It gave everyone a chance to find out what they needed to work on their games before the results really mattered.
I think it was good to see some competition and like just work on D zone because we have a few D and like we just need to really focus on our D zone and like just movement. So it was good to see how we'd look.
The girls took a lot more positives away from the Jamboree than negatives, and they're hoping they can continue to improve and keep their momentum going.
I think scoring definitely last year, we did not have as much goals as we wanted. Shots on net, some games were really good and some games weren't. At the Jamboree, we had like 12 goals. That's pretty good for 3 games. But I think scoring is definitely going to be something we need to work on.
The Cardinals will definitely see some significant tests early on. With the season opener against 4th-ranked Wayzata and their conference opener against a number 10 Maple Grove team, the Cards get a taste of what it takes to play the best right away. Something that is a positive and a negative.
Probably a little bit of both. It'll be good to see where we stand at the season, how we play against better teams. But it'll be tough.
It's another challenge this team is ready and willing to accept. These Cardinals will be pushed to their limit every game, but the coaches are confident in their abilities, their determination, and their heart.
We're very top and bottom heavy, I think, in terms of our age as well as experience. So not only, great in school, but just, putting points on the board. And I think we have some kids that aren't quite used to playing at this level and this pace. But they practice for 3 hours a day at that level, so they'll catch up quick.
Well, they kind of have to.
They do.
As you talked about in the piece, and we talked about beforehand, they had Wayzata on Saturday, Maple Grove coming up Tuesday night tonight. Their first conference game, and Maple Grove ranked 10th in the state. They return a lot from a team that I think was about like 17-5 last year.
Something like that,
And they return a lot of their players. They return both of their goaltenders, a couple of their top scorers. They're going to be tough, and the season, in this conference, it never gets easier.
No, it really doesn't. And I talked to both coaches actually this afternoon, and at Maple Grove they felt they have the most depth they've ever had in this lineup, and an opportunity. In fact, they fill a JV team and a varsity team without having to interchanging anybody to play additional time. So they've got the numbers. On the other hand, we talked about Coon Rapids, a little less depth on their team, only 18 players, and they know that they're going to skate 2 lines, and they're going to have to skate hard, and they're going to have to match intensity with Maple Grove tonight if they want to compete. Coach Christopherson said that they'd have to score at least 3 goals in order to have an opportunity to win tonight.
And we talked when I talked to the girls, they all said they know. They know they're going to have a short bench, and the conditioning is going to be crucial, and they're ready for it. And that's going to be the key. Is they have to be able to go out and give everything for an entire 51-minute game each night and be able to still be going at the end of the third period.
Well, it'll be interesting because Maple Grove, typically they start a little slow in the beginning of the season, so possibly Coon Rapids, if they can get on the board first and put a little pressure on Maple Grove, have an opportunity tonight.
Well, and Maple Grove, although experienced, still a very young program.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a lot more about that during the game. It's our first opportunity to do winter sports when we bring you the Maple Grove game, but they will be on the road for the first time on Saturday when they take on Robbinsdale, Armstrong, and Cooper. But we had a chance, as I mentioned, to talk to head coach Steve Moe, the new chief of the boys hockey team. We're going to talk to him just after we break about his past, the present, and the future he hopes for the Cardinal program. That's next on Sportsnight.
Oh, hi. I'm TV's Howie Shapiro. And when I'm not announcing CTN sports broadcasts with my sidekick Joe Yen, I'm watching all the other great programs on the CTN Studios YouTube page. There's news stories, great local events, and even full games. You can even watch on any smart device with a YouTube app. Whether that's your phone or a tablet, you can watch CTN's great programming wherever and whenever you want. You can even watch CTN's event coverage live. So no matter where you are, you can share in all the excitement. CTN Studios, building community through cable.
Welcome back to Sports Night. I'm joined now by a very special guest, new boys hockey head coach Steve Moe. Steve, thanks for being with us tonight. And first of all, for those who don't know, Steve's a 1999 graduate of Coon Rapids, a hockey player here, obviously. Tell us a little bit about what you did after high school.
After high school, I ended up moving out to Montana and playing 2 years of junior A hockey, which was my primary focus, was just to keep playing hockey. And after that, I was able to get accepted into University of Wisconsin River Falls. They recruited me, and I was able to go play there for 4 years. I had a really good time playing collegiate hockey.
Obviously, the high school hockey is very big in Minnesota, but college hockey, another step. What kind of things surprised you as you made that step from high school to juniors and into college hockey?
It was just the level of play and the consistency from each player. If you didn't work your hardest and you didn't bring your best game every day, I mean, the guy who's sitting out would take your spot, or your opponent, any opponent, was as good as you were. The more you got up, from juniors and then into college, it was even another step, because you kind of set some guys apart. So the best went on to juniors, and then out from there, they chose more to go play collegiately. And when you have kids who want to be there, players who want to be there, really playing the game, it's a whole lot of fun, and it's a high pace, and it's intense, but it's why I think, play sports.
Well, and I think obviously any athlete really loves the game, really loves being a part of it. You chose after college to continue on being a part of hockey and joining the coaching ranks. What went into that decision? Was it just natural for you?
Somewhat natural. My dad, he was a coach growing up, so he coached a lot of teams through the Coon Rapids youth level. I know my senior year, I was just kind of sitting back and working with a lot of the sophomores and the freshmen, and really thinking about what the game had given to me. I was able to go to college, play 4 years of hockey. I can be honest, hockey kind of kept me grounded. I just felt like the sport had given so much to me. I was able to achieve my dreams and goals within it, that I kind of owed something back to the sport. Not that I didn't have a passion for either being a coach or just the game itself, but really my first step into coaching was wanting to give something back to the game that gave so much to me.
And where did your coaching take you? What is your kind of coaching resume? Where you been? What have you been doing?
My first coaching job was with River Falls High School. I was JV head coach. My first job was going to be a student coach for the university, and they needed a JV coach, so Coach Freeman there at River Falls, Wisconsin said, maybe you might want to think about doing this, and I'm here in your back pocket and I can help you, and we can kind of still do things that you maybe would have done within the university. So that's where I started out. Then I ended up graduating and I moved back to Minneapolis. Did a year of Bantams here in Coon Rapids. I believe it was a B1 Bantam team. The guy I was coaching with in River Falls got the head coaching job in Simley High School over in Inver Grove Heights. and he gave me a call and he said, I need an assistant coach. Would you like to be either my JV coach or my assistant varsity coach? And I gladly accepted the assistant job for the varsity team.
What differences did you find going from being a player to being a coach?
You have to always make sure you're seeing it through kind of the player's eyes and communicating to the player, and understanding that as a coach you have to teach them and not say, well, this is how it's done, can't you just do it? And taking yourself removed from what your talents were as a player and making sure that you're just teaching the talents of the kids that you have, whether it's improving their weaknesses or working on their strengths. It's taking what you have with them and not expecting them to be able to do what you did as a player. And that's one thing that I think was probably the hardest thing for me to grasp on, because not every kid wants to play after high school. Some kids are here for the love of the game and they want to play through high school, and that's going to be good. And then you're going to have the kids who want to move on, and it's making sure that you can communicate and coach with all of those kids and make the experience the best experience for them.
Now, during your time last 8 years over in Inver Grove Heights at Simley High School, obviously quite close to Coon Rapids, how closely did you watch the Coon Rapids programs, and what was your thoughts, especially as you've seen over the last few years a lot of roller coaster within that head coaching position?
I didn't pay as close attention as I probably should have, but I was living in Minneapolis, and the commute all the way out to South St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights area was pretty difficult. So my main focus was a lot on that team and those kids. I would kind of follow in the newspaper and kind of see scores up and down, and one day it would be, oh, maybe they've turned the corner, and the next, it'd be a rough game. But I spent a lot of my focus on my team. Being an assistant coach or any high school coach, it takes a lot of your time, and really your focus is the kids that you have in front of you.
Now that you have come home
Yes.
to Coon Rapids, what are your early impressions? How much time have you had with the kids that you have, and what are your early impressions?
I had the summer training program. I spent some time with them, not as much as I wanted to. Our ice time was during the afternoon, so I got away when I could. But one thing I've noticed about these kids is they're very hard-working kids, the group of players that I have. And for the majority of them, the ones that I've had the time of being around the most often, very polite young men, really want to be respectful to their peers and others around them, and they kind of are very respectful. So that's a bonus for me, is when I can have good kids, grounded kids, must come from good family or respect other people and their rights and their opinions. That's going to go a long ways, because I don't have to worry maybe about some conflicts, and I can focus on team building and being the coach and improving our program. Well,
obviously a program that plays in a very difficult conference, but you come in at kind of an interesting time. The Northwest Suburban added those 3 teams and now split into 2 divisions within within that conference, and you will be playing some of the newer teams, Irondale, Spring Lake Park. Your thoughts on kind of the level of competition you'll face every night, and what you guys have to do in order to kind of prepare to play at that level?
We're gonna have to work really hard. We're gonna have to be focused day in and day out, whether it's in practice or games, and have the same mindset. One thing that we can do is control our attitude and effort, and if we can work harder than the other team and have a good attitude and support each other as a team, we can compete, especially on the side of the conference in which we've been placed. On the other side of the conference with the Blaines and the Elk Rivers and stuff, that's going to be tough. But the thing is if we do what we can do as a group, we work hard, we support each other, and we're good teammates. And like I said, I'm going to say work hard again, but that's what it's going to take is being in good shape, being real fit, putting forth that effort. You never know what's going to happen. Been around the game a long time, they always said hard work can be talent, and that's something that we're going to have to be focused on.
It's interesting. I was actually just having that discussion the other night, how some teams that have talent, if another team maybe isn't quite as strong in talent but is giving you 100% heart all the way through the end of that third period, a lot of times that team that maybe is a little less talented is going to beat them just purely based on determination and willpower.
Yeah, that will happen. I mean, a lot of times it's the willpower, like you said, determination, and just being relentless. It's gonna frustrate the talented kids when they got that bee buzzing around their ear all the time, and they just can't seem to get to go away. It can be quite annoying, and so that might be something that we're gonna have to focus on and bring to the table every night, is just being relentless and being in that little bee buzzing around that guy's ear. Just getting in his back pocket and saying we're going to be here until that buzzard ends and the game's over. We're gonna outwork you.
Do you obviously you were running some certain systems in Simley? Sure, you didn't really. You already said you didn't really pay that close attention to Coon Rapids. Have you started to work with the kids at all as far as what kind of systems you're going to be running, and how are they grasping onto that? And is it different from what they're used to?
It's going to be a little different from what they're used to. A little bit of time I worked with them. The one thing that I really have worked with was more or less the defensemen and being aggressive with our defensemen. We're not going to allow ourselves to give up the blue line, our defensive blue line. We're going to want to try to pinch players off there. The strength of our team could be our defensemen. We have a very strong goaltender and some pretty good defensemen. So we're going to kind of work from the back and go forward, but we're going to make sure that we'll use those defensemen's size and skill and get that puck and try to keep possession and move it forward out of our zone. The least amount of time we can play in our zone, the better chance we have to win. And if we can get that puck from those other teams and control it, we're gonna be right there.
A big thing that I've noticed in some years, I mean, we've been doing this a long time, is, and this goes across Coon Rapids programs, when they get down, they kind of get into that snowball going the wrong way. How do you keep kids keeping their chins up if you lose a couple and keep from getting that kind of defeatist mindset?
I really wish there was a simple answer to give you on that one, and that's going to kind of be a feeling out process for myself and the coaching staff. The one thing that will be a stable point is we're playing a game where you have to score a goal to win, and we're playing high school hockey, and you're going to need 3 to 4 goals to win in high school hockey. And so we're gonna get a goal scored against us, but how are we going to react? And a lot of times they say the most important shift is the shift after a goal, whether you've scored or been scored on, and how you react to that. And hopefully we can have a reaction that if we get scored on, we get ourselves back under control and just continue to play our game plan and our style. Maybe those will just kind of go by the wayside because the thought will be past us. A goal is a goal, and we can only move forward with the clock, and we can't fix what happened previously in the game.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us. Really look forward to the hockey season and seeing what you're able to do with the program, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support what we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young.